Are you? What is up, everybody? Welcome back into the RPG Fantasy Football Podcast here. We are going to be talking about some injury news and what that may do to certain positions, certain players on some teams here and how that might impact your fantasy football team. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, David. We appreciate you guys joining as always. It's great to see your faces.
I was required to be. There's somebody here holding me at gunpoint.
I just like to hear myself talk.
Well, I like to hear you talk too. That's good.
Well, cool. I love hearing both of you talk. So let's start off with the Baltimore Ravens. The Isaiah Likely ankle situation sounds like he's going to be out for a couple weeks to start the season. Does that give you any more faith in Mark Andrews starting off strong?
Absolutely. I think last year, look, I fell victim to it. I wrote an article saying that Mark Andrews is cooked. He's washed. Get rid of him. And then he just went out and scored a touchdown every game for the rest of the year. So I've learned my lesson. When somebody has tightrope surgery and then they get in a car crash, maybe be a little more patient. So I am excited about what Mark Andrews can do with this offense. I think Lamar Jackson's touchdown rate may come down a little bit, but Andrews will get a little more targets. He should be right in the prime of his career. I have no concerns about Mark Andrews this year. Very concerned about Isaiah Likely and his dynasty tight end 12 price.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said, Mike. Mark Andrews, he had a rough week one. He had a rough divisional round against the Bills. It's the first thing you saw. It's the last thing you remember. I think a lot of people going into the year were too low on him just because the middle part was really, really good with Mark Andrews. But everyone wanted it to be Isaiah Likely. Everyone remembers the drops. Honestly, this is probably going to make it tougher for me to get Mark Andrews because I was full speed ahead on him before this. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he's tight end 4 at the end of the year, even when Likely gets back on the field. So I'd say this is just another excuse to get back on the train, keep going with one of the most consistent tight ends in Dynasty over the last few years.
Oh, yeah. Outside of those top 3 guys, there's a whole bunch of question marks. So why can't Mark Andrews be number 4? All right, moving forward with the Cincinnati Bengals, they have Cody Ford, Lucas Patrick, and Cordell Volson right now on their injury report, all generically expected to be back for the start of the season, but the fact that 3 of the 4 guards that are probably going to play in front of Joe Burrow this season are already on the injured report. Does that give you any concern?
Evan, I'll throw this back to you. You're our O-line guy. Is time gelling as a unit important?
Yes, 100% time gelling as a unit. You can have a C-level unit that has been playing together for 3 years and they could play like a B-level unit just because they understand how each other sees the field, how each other sees stunts up front, and are able to pass off the blocks. So yes, I would say that it is something of concern.
So we have gelling concerns, interior pressure. That sounds bad for Joe Burrow for me.
It's certainly not good, but I pose this question, like the best case scenario, like if all 3-4 guys were totally healthy, it's still bad. So like how much lower can you get? Like you're going from bad to dumpster fire, but like does that really matter when I'm Joe Burrow and after 2 seconds I can just throw a prayer and, you know, like 50-60% of this time my elite wide receivers are winning that prayer?
If they keep winning it, then great. If defenses start dropping because of that, okay, good luck.
I mean, let them drop. It's not exactly a secret that the plan has just been like, you know, have Burrow survive for like 2-3 seconds and then throw it to one of your superstars. Like that's been the game plan for years now. Teams haven't figured out how to stop it.
It's been the game plan ever since they took Chase over Sewell.
Yeah.
The meme is real.
Okay, well, moving forward, the Dallas Cowboys, man, you want to talk about a team that had questions at running back going into the offseason, had questions at running back going into training camp, and now they have questions at running back going into the regular season. You got Jaden Blue, who's dealing with a heel ankle injury. Hopefully ready for week 1. We'll see. You got Phil Maffa, who is put on the IR. You got Miles Sanders dealing with a shoulder injury. Expected to most likely be ready for week 1, but having 3 running backs already on the injury report and at the very least questionable to be playing week 1, 2 of them being questionable. Javonte Williams, what does this do to your confidence in him being that lead back and being able to get to a 900 plus rushing yard season?
Oh man, I mean, he's gonna start with the job, and now he's gonna have a little more runway where we know he's gonna start with the job. So if you're in a guillotine league, a chopped league, whatever you want to call it, depending on the platform, like he's a more interesting RB2, RB3 option, but he's certainly not an exciting one. I just think they're going to continue to pass the ball a billion times because they have CeeDee Lamb. They traded for George Pickens. They just extended Ferguson. All of those actions show me that they're just going to let Dak throw it 600 times.
Yeah, they want to throw the ball, and they should. Dak Prescott is much, much better than Javonte Williams, but sometimes the best values in fantasy football are the disgusting ones, and I can't think of a more disgusting player than Javonte Williams in the year 2025. You have to chase volume and hope efficiency follows. If Rico Dowdle can get 1,000 yards this year, why can't Javonte Williams? Being good clearly is not a prerequisite to success in the NFL from the running back standpoint. We've known this for years now. The data makes it clear. There's no one else to steal work, so where he's going right now, I'm taking that value.
It's not the year after the injury. It's not the year after the year after the injury. It's not the year after the year after the injury. But this is the year Javonte Williams.
At no point did I say he was good. I just said he is there.
And that is my whole dating strategy.
But that is okay because he plays the Philadelphia Eagles in week 1, so he will be getting approximately 50 yards in the game. So
if you're starting Javonte Williams on next Thursday, RIP, just sorry.
All right, moving on to the Green Bay Packers. Man, this is a team with wide receiver galore on the injury report. You got Wicks with a calf injury. You got Savion Williams with a hamstring injury. Oh, wow, interesting. The rookie that's supposed to be an athletic guy has a hamstring injury in camp. Haven't heard that storyline before. Jaden Reed with a foot injury, and then Christian Watson with a knee injury. The perennially injured Christian Watson starting the season on the PUP. So that is 4 wide receivers that are already hurt. I'm pretty sure that leaves Matthew Golden pretty much as the lone healthy, continuously practicing wide receiver. But then you also have Jordan Love battling a thumb injury. So this Packers passing game, what are your thoughts on it, David?
I'm probably staying away from most of them, but if there is one I'm going after, it's Golden. Yeah, first-round draft capital, you love that. I didn't quite have him that high, but I fully acknowledge I'm not an NFL-level evaluator, so I could be wrong about these things. Like you said, Evan, by default, he's going to be the top option in this offense. My biggest restraint is Jordan Love. This might be a bit of a hot take. I'm still not sold on him. I'm not sure how good he actually is. It's a little too streaky. He usually comes out of the gate slow. That thumb injury is probably only going to make it worse, and I imagine they're going to lean on the run game as much as they possibly can. So I'm really not too excited about anyone. If I drafted Golden and there's someone in my league that's like really high on him, thinking like, okay, this is the chance he needed. One, why didn't you draft him a few months ago? But let's say that person exists somewhere out there. I'll probably try to sell high on him, but assuming that person doesn't exist, I'm just going to roll with it, see what happens.
Yeah, I think those are fair expectations. I think the big holdup with Golden in the landing spot was when will he even get a chance to be wide receiver 1? And now it's just a series of unfortunate events for the Packers wide receivers, but it's a series of fortunate events for Matthew Golden. So he will be out there for more snaps than we expected. He will get the opportunity to earn targets more than we expected. And if he's as good as he showed in the last 4 games at Texas, that will be very good for him. We can see an early breakout rather than waiting until the post-bye rookie bump.
Okay. Well, that's enough to be said about this Packers passing game, which is just frankly disgusting. So, moving on to a more disgusting situation. Please don't leave us, everybody. We love you, and thank you for tuning into the show. The Houston Texans running back room. All right, Joe Mixon expected to miss multiple weeks being placed on the PUP. Has he officially been placed on the PUP?
The NFI, but yeah.
He's on the NFI. He's dead.
Okay.
Same difference, really.
I haven't seen Joe Mixon in months. I don't know if he exists.
Yeah, that whole hashtag Stafford died months ago tweet, that should be Mixon died months ago.
Yes.
All right. So with that said, you have a running back room that is pretty disgusting. Are there any running backs in this group that you want to trust as a depth piece?
Absolutely not. Nick Chubb, I love the guy. He was fantastic in his day, but he's 30. The knee has just shattered beyond all recognition, and this is a terrible offensive line. Like, nobody's going to be able to create running lanes. I think it's going to be a three-headed nightmare monster of Chubb, Pierce, and Dare. Maybe they claim someone out there. It would make sense to me if they did, because Mixon, anytime you get an older running back and one of these injuries that just lingers and lingers and lingers, you have to assume the worst. I'm not counting on Mixon for anything this year, so I'm just staying away from the entire mess.
Did Woody Marks die?
What about him?
Oh, brother.
Oh, man.
Okay. Woody Marks is probably like RB3 at this point, even with Mixon dead. But if there is a running back that I want to take, that there is a world where they become the pass catcher plus 8 carries, the only person on that roster is Woody Marks right now. Everybody else, like, they're going to be splitting time on the ground. It's a terrible offensive line. There's not a lot of running room. Also, none of them are necessarily explosive runners. Woody Marks is the one little like glimmer of hope in the 20th round on a DraftKings best ball draft. You're like, I can see a world where this works. But yeah, no, I'm not trusting anybody, and I think it's all bad.
All right. Well, that's enough about a potential situation that may make you throw up. All right. So now moving on to the New England Patriots. Oh, sorry. Ugh, that tasted awful. Their wide receiver group. Once again, we got 4 wide receivers that are already on the injured report. Kyle Williams, everybody's darling. He's expected to start the season, but already dealing with some injuries. Jalen Polk already on IR. Kendrick Bourne somehow managed to make the roster, but already on the injury report with a lower leg injury. And then Stephon Diggs coming off of the knee issue. All kind of questionable to start the season. So with how high Drake May is going, is everybody just expecting him to run for 100 yards the first couple weeks?
Yes.
As the resident Patriots fan, I feel like I can take this one. You shouldn't have been banking on any of the names except with the potential of Kyle Williams to do anything, especially earlier in the year anyway, because most of them aren't good. And the one that is good, Diggs, is coming off a serious knee injury, and he's like 30. So you really shouldn't believe anything with him until you physically see it on the field. So to me, it's a lot of bodies that aren't there, but bodies that weren't really going to do anything anyway. So this is still going to be the Demario Douglas show. He's far and away their best receiver that's healthy. I think he's probably a safe bet to be better than Diggs, but I'm admittedly very low on Diggs this year. I think if you're going after anyone, you're going after Douglas. He's the best value. But most of this it's going to be the Drake May show again, just like it was last year. He's going to run really well, and it's really unfortunate that Travion Henderson is his best weapon. But yeah, Travion Henderson is probably his second best weapon.
I have been workshopping a Demario Douglas is this year's Wan'Dale Robinson take, and I think this is the perfect time to unveil it.
I think that's a little insulting to Douglas. I think he's better after the catch than Robinson.
I think it might be insulting to Robinson. He's a dog. But, it's just so many targets are available. If Demario Douglas is better than Wan'Dale after the catch and he can accrue those kinds of targets, we're talking about a fantasy football league winner, not because you're going to be like, oh, man, I drafted Demario Douglas and he won me my championship, but you draft him as your wide receiver 7. Now you plug him in as your wide receiver 2 or 3. And, he gives you a safe PPR floor with a couple of touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that is enough about the putrid Patriots. Sorry, David.
Moving taken. People are way too high on them.
All right. Well, moving on to the San Francisco 49ers. Once again, more wide receiver issues. Gee, it's almost like the NFL has a wide receiver issue. Brandon Ayuk, recovering from the knee injury, currently on the PUP. Jawan Jennings dealing with a contract issue / calf issue. Interesting to see how that goes. Expected to miss week 1 because of both of those things combined. Jacob Cowing dealing with the hamstring issue, expected to miss multiple weeks. So, Ricky Pearsall, how high are you guys on him?
You're going to make me say nice things about Ricky. I didn't like the prospect coming out. I thought they overdrafted him. But also, it's the Shanahan offense. Brock Purdy is good. He's going to stay on schedule, and they're going to stay on schedule by force-feeding their only healthy wide receiver. I pulled up the 49ers depth chart. After Pearsall, we have Jennings and Cowing, both hurt. Ayuk hurt. Jordan Watkins hurt. Demarcus Robinson suspended. Trent Taylor on IR. Would you like to take a guess on if all of those people miss week 1, who the 49ers wide receiver 2 will be?
Sky Moore.
It is Sky Moore.
Oh, my God.
That is the level we are going to. So Ricky Pearsall recovered from a gunshot wound and then showed flashes at the end of the season. The drumbeat has been strong for him throughout this entire offseason. I didn't think he was good, but if there's a system where you can just be medium and be good anyway, it's the Shanahan system.
Is the delta, real quick, is the delta higher on Ricky Pearsall, or is the delta lower on Brock Purdy?
Are you saying...
Does this drop Brock Purdy more than it raises Ricky Pearsall?
I think it does. When you talk about the bull case for Brock Purdy, especially in fantasy football, it's how many weapons he has. David, do you feel good about Brock Purdy right now?
No, I do not. But I'm probably out on Purdy, in every format. I don't think he's a good quarterback. He's a starting quarterback, but he's in that QB 15-ish range where if the situation's not great, he can't elevate it. He's not going to make it better. And boy, is the situation bad. Pearsall, as you mentioned, all the injuries are going to help him, but I have a feeling that he's going to be getting overdrafted because even with all those guys out, he's the third option in this passing attack. Kittle and McCaffrey are healthy for the time being, knock on wood. I imagine Shanahan, who likes to run the ball anyway, is going to run it as much as humanly possible to compensate for the complete lack of actual targets out on the field. And that's going to hurt Pearsall more than I think people are factoring in right now.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Well, enough on the 49ers here. Moving into the last 2 topics. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have Chris Godwin expected to miss multiple weeks. You have Jalen McMillan expected to miss a ton of weeks because it's going to be a lot. So, Emeka Egbuka? Is it the season already? Yes.
To the moon.
To the moon.
Okay.
Draft him.
Yep. He's a star.
Okay.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Very good football player. Mike Evans is still there, which is good news for him. And Godwin was always a 2026 play.
Does losing Cohen and losing Tristan Wirfs dampen that star power?
Yes. But
to an extent, yeah. But I still believe in Baker. I think he's a good quarterback when he's got the right pieces around him. And I think he's got the right pieces.
I think those injuries are the one big injury, although they haven't put him on IR yet. There's still a chance he could play week 1.
I will say Baker did well last year without Godwin. He did well last year without Evans. And yes, Cohen was there. But the guys on the field tend to be more important than the guys off of it. So if he can do it without those 2 last year, I think he can do it this year without Cohen.
I think missing Cohen and Wirfs hurts Bucky more than it hurts Baker. But we can talk about that another time.
Okay, well, moving on to the final team talking about here, the Tennessee Titans. Is Tony Pollard a screaming buy at this point with Tajay Spears being placed on the IR? the offensive line being improved, and a rookie quarterback being there.
I mean, you go from Will Levis and one of the worst offensive lines in football to Cam Ward and a lower tier, but like medium offensive line, and all of the touch competition being on IR. Why is Tony Pollard RB29 in drafts right now? Like, what are we doing?
Yep. We chase volume and we hope efficiency follows. Week 1, Broncos going to be ugly, but he's going to get like 30 touches. If he falls into the end zone once, that's a start.
PPR leagues, Pollard's going to get those checkdowns. Cam Ward, he's going to extend plays, and he's going to realize he doesn't have guys open down the field because I don't know if Calvin Ridley is going to play. He's questionable right now. And
Here's the question. Will Cam Ward actually care that nobody's open, or will he chuck it anyway because he hates running backs?
Ooh, he might just chuck it. And that's good for my A.O. Manor love.
But yes, if he can get through at Denver in week 1, you have the Rams, you have Indianapolis, you have Houston, Arizona, Las Vegas, and then New England after that. So that is a pretty solid stretch that if you are in a redraft league, think about taking Tony Pollard. By the time Tajay Spears is coming back, it'll be a perfect time to be able to trade that Tony Pollard stock and be able to take a profit on it.
Well, there's one more thing I want to talk about with the Titans, Evan. And you thought we were getting out without saying this. Xavier Restrepo, cut from the team, is going to be on the practice squad. I'm excited for him to continue his NFL journey and grow where he needs to. Elake Manor makes the team, maybe the wide receiver 2 week 1. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You know, that just underscores how bad of a wide receiver class this past season was. But with that, we appreciate everybody tapping in. Thanks for watching 20 plus minutes of us getting you ready for potential waiver wire pickups, for potential guys to go try and trade, you know, some lower level picks to try and go get as additional trade fodder, additional guys and throw-ins in deals before the season starts. But with that, Mike, love you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't let the Goblins get you.